Welcome to Confessions of a New York City Cab Driver. With us tonight is the man, Cy Norman. How you doing, Cy?
I'm doing fine. Yourself?
I'm doing great because I'm excited to hear a confession.
Okay.
Are
well,
you ready?
I have a good one tonight for you.
Oh, yay.
It was a rainy afternoon, and somebody hailed me on the street and got in the cab. He was wearing a raincoat. It looked like he needed a shave, and and then I looked at them. I said, "Hey, didn't I see you last night on TV? I saw him on.
Wow.
There was a TV show he was on. His name was Robert Redford.
Wow.
Very early in his career, a young man." And I said
Wow.
to him, he was surprised that I knew who he was.
Yeah.
So he said, I said, "You're in a show now on Broadway, Barefoot in the Park."
Mm-hmm.
He says, "Yeah." He said, "You're right. You're up. You know your show business." I said, "Yeah." I said, "Yeah, I would really like to, it must be a great show, you know." He said,
Yeah.
"Oh, yeah." He said, "I'm having a good time, enjoying it." And so he said, "I'm going to leave you 2 tickets at the box office."
Oh, wow.
So you could come Saturday night. I said, "It'd be great."
That is great.
So I took him over. He was going. Matter of fact, he was going to the theater for, I guess, early to get there early before the show. He had to get ready, evidently. And so I said, "Okay, fine, thank you. All right, we'll see you then."
That's great.
So I went home and told my wife. She was really excited about it.
Oh, yeah.
And he said, he said, "By the way, after the show, come backstage. I'll leave your name on there. They'll know and say hello."
That's great.
I said, "Oh, my wife would love that,
Yeah.
So with that, we parted company, and that Saturday night we went to see the show. And after the show, he lived up. The tickets were there, nice seats, and we saw the show. After the show, we went backstage, and they looked on the list because they said, "Yes, you're on the list here," And
Awesome.
I went up to the dressing room. I saw all the rest of the cast because all their rooms are next to each other.
How
He had a nice
great.
dressing room. We went in. He was wearing a what do you call it? A bathrobe. He was in a bathrobe.
Yeah.
Had
So
makeup
classic.
on. Yeah. And my wife was all, she was really.
I bet she looked
She
beautiful.
sat with me a half hour and chatted. I didn't even say a word.
Are you kidding?
Yeah. But that's not the end of the story.
All right.
Because we went to see a show called MAME.
Oh, yeah.
And because we were show people, we'd like to go to theaters.
Yes.
And we happened to have very good seats that night. And at intermission, we were walking up the aisle. Somebody called out, "Audrey, Audrey." It's Robert Redford and his wife there. And we were sitting in better seats than he were that night.
What?
But with these actors, celebrities, they don't, in a theater, they don't leave their seat intermission because they'll be swamped with people. They just sit there.
Right.
But he had aisle seats, and my wife, when she saw him there, she was flabbergasted. But I reached over and said, "Hey, Bob, how you doing?" And he said, "Oh, hi." He spoke to me again.
That's
It was such a
great.
funny thing how he said he was at the show because this director, Gene Saks, who was going to direct him. As a matter of fact, Gene Saks just died 2 weeks ago. I just saw it in the obituary column. So it sort of brought back that. I remember that because
Absolutely.
because Gene Saks did a lot of shows. He did all Neil Simon's Broadway show.
My
He was very
God.
famous for directing in the theater. But that's beside the point. Anyway, so I was driving. It was a rainy day, and pouring rain. The guy got in the cab wearing glasses and the mustache he had on. I happened to notice, and he ducked behind reading a newspaper. And we were riding. He said he had to go to Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because my wife was in the hospital at that time in Brooklyn because we lived in Brooklyn. She was having some surgery done.
Right.
And so I said, okay. So I figured I'll go see my wife too while we got a chance to see her. And so we're riding. He was going to the Brooklyn Museum. He was making a movie with Zero Mostel called Hard Rock, and he he told me that's why he was going to Brooklyn. They were filming there.
That's so
Yeah,
amazing.
and so he all of a sudden somebody said to me, "How's Audrey doing?" I turned around, it's Robert Redford.
Oh my
All
gosh,
over again.
you got to be
Yeah,
kidding
yeah.
me.
I said,
I bet he spotted you.
I don't know. I don't know. It's funny. I don't think so. It was a rainy day. It was pouring rain.
Really?
Yeah. Whatever. That's how things work out sometimes.
That is such
So,
a meant-to-be
I said she was in
relationship.
the hospital. And so he always said, what, I had some time, I would I would go and visit her. I said, boy, you really give the nurses, they all go gaga.
Oh.
He said, but I'm really pressed for time. But I want you to
Right.
give her my regards and hope that she feels better.
That's
You know?
amazing.
So this is life in New York,
Yeah.
You never know who you're going to bump into.
Absolutely.
But that was really a funny ending to a story,
That's just fantastic.
Yeah. Uh-huh.